Have you ever thought that the key to changing your entire life could begin with something as small as making your bed every morning? Admiral William H. McRaven, a retired U.S. Navy SEAL, believes that discipline and responsibility start with the simplest actions, and those small actions can transform the direction of your life. In his book, Make Your Bed, McRaven shares 10 powerful lessons that he learned from years of grueling SEAL training and real-life experiences. These lessons may sound simple, but they hold the power to give you strength in the face of challenges, whether that's dealing with failure, criticism, or life's toughest storms. The core message is this: great victories are built on small daily habits. So today, let's dive into the 10 life-changing lessons from Make Your Bed that can reshape your mindset, build resilience, and help you achieve success. And hey, if you enjoy inspiring book summaries like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out. Lesson 1. Start your day with a task completed. Admiral McRaven begins with a lesson that sounds almost too simple to matter. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. Now, you might think, really? Making my bed? How could something so ordinary change my life? But here's the deeper truth. Every great achievement begins with the smallest of steps. When you make your bed each morning, you've already won your first battle of the day. You've taken control. You've created order. You've built momentum. This small act whispers a powerful message to your mind. I'm disciplined. I finish what I start. I can handle what comes next. During SEAL training, this wasn't just a suggestion. It was non-negotiable. Every morning, instructors inspected the beds with brutal precision. The sheets had to be pulled tight, corners perfectly tucked, pillows sharp and square. If your bed wasn't flawless, you failed. No excuses. It wasn't about the bed. It was about the mindset. If you couldn't get the little things right, how could you ever be trusted with the big things? Missions that required life or death precision? And here's something we often forget. When life gets overwhelming, when the day feels like it's falling apart, even then, you can look at your bed and say, I did that right. I started strong. That single, small victory becomes a seed of confidence, a reminder that no matter how bad the storm is, you still have control over something. Think about it. Champions in any field don't rise to greatness overnight. Athletes become legends by repeating daily drills. Musicians master their craft by practicing scales. Entrepreneurs build empires by taking small, consistent actions. The bed is symbolic. It represents the power of daily habits. So, the real lesson here is this: don't underestimate the small things. The way you start your morning can shape your entire day, and the way you live each day eventually shapes your entire life. Begin with small wins. Celebrate them. Build on them. Because once you've proven to yourself that you can conquer the little tasks, you'll be prepared, mentally and emotionally, to face the bigger battles ahead. Lesson 2. You can't go it alone. Admiral McRaven reminds us of something we often forget in our pursuit of success. No matter how strong, smart, or talented you are, real success is never a solo mission. During SEAL training, cadets were divided into small boat crews. Picture this: 6 men in a tiny rubber boat, paddling through freezing water in the dead of night, with waves crashing over their heads. The ocean was merciless. The currents were stronger than any one man could fight. The only way forward was together. If even one person slacked off, the entire boat slowed down. If they didn't row in perfect harmony, the waves would toss them back to shore. It wasn't about individual strength. It was about trust, rhythm, and teamwork. Alone, no one could survive the journey. But together, they could cross even the most violent seas. Now think about your own life. You may dream big. You may even be highly skilled. But the truth is, your journey will always be shaped by the people around you. Lone wolves may satisfy their ego, but they rarely last long. Team players, on the other hand, go further because they build strength through connection. Behind every successful person, there's a network of support. Mentors who guide them, friends who encourage them, colleagues who collaborate, and family who stand by them during failures. Without that crew, the journey becomes lonely, exhausting, and nearly impossible. Ask yourself, who's in my boat? Are you surrounded by people who encourage you, or by people who pull you back? And just as importantly, Are you being the kind of teammate others can rely on? Because trust is never one-sided. The storms of life are inevitable. But when you have the right people rowing beside you, people who share your vision, your grit, and your loyalty, those storms won't sink you. Success isn't about going fast alone. It's about going far together. Build your team. Trust them. Support them. And when the waves rise high, remember, you don't have to row alone. Lesson 3. The size of your heart matters more than anything. Admiral McRaven makes it clear. Success has little to do with your height, your appearance, your background, or even your natural-born talent. What really matters is the size of your heart, your courage, your resilience, and your refusal to quit when things get tough. During SEAL training, this truth became obvious. Some of the tallest, strongest, most athletic cadets, the ones you'd assume would crush every challenge, were often the first to ring the bell and quit. Why? Because physical strength alone doesn't carry you through weeks of exhaustion, icy waters, and relentless pressure. Muscles can tire. Endurance can fail. But a determined spirit? That can outlast almost anything. On the other hand, many of the smaller cadets, the ones who didn't look impressive at first glance, turned out to be the fiercest fighters. They rowed harder, ran faster, and endured longer because they had something the others didn't: grit. They carried a never quit attitude that pushed them far beyond their limits. And isn't life the same way? You don't get to choose the family you're born into, the natural talents you're given, or the setbacks you face early on. But you do get to choose how much heart you put into the fight. Time and again, history shows us that determination beats raw talent. From entrepreneurs who built empires after countless failures, to athletes who rose to greatness despite being underestimated. What sets them apart is not what they started with, but how fiercely they refuse to give up. Your true measure isn't in what people can see. It's in the fire burning inside you. When challenges knock you down, your heart decides whether you stay down or rise stronger. What defines you is not what you're born with, but what you're willing to fight for. Talent may open the door, but only heart will carry you through it. Lesson 4. Get over being a sugar cookie. One of the hardest lessons Admiral McRaven shares is this: life isn't fair, and it never will be. You can give your best effort, follow every rule, and still end up punished. In SEAL training, when a cadet failed to meet even the smallest standard, like not folding a uniform perfectly or leaving a grain of sand on their bed, they were ordered to become what was called a sugar cookie. Here's what that meant. First, they had to dive into the freezing ocean, soaking themselves from head to toe. Then, dripping wet, they rolled across the sand until every inch of their body was coated. Uniform, boots, hair, everything. For the rest of the day, they had to stay like that, wet, cold, gritty, and uncomfortable. But here's the kicker. Sometimes, they became sugar cookies without even making a mistake. The punishment was given at random, just to test their mental toughness. No explanations, no fairness, just life at its rawest. And this is where many cadets broke down. Some got angry, some felt victimized, some quit altogether. But those who survived learned an essential truth. Complaining doesn't change the situation. Life is unfair. It always will be. The only choice you really have is how you respond. This lesson goes far beyond military training. Think about it. Maybe you worked hard at your job, but someone else got the promotion. Maybe you've been honest, but still face betrayal. Maybe you've done everything right, yet life threw you a curveball anyway. You can let the unfairness eat you alive, or you can shake off the sand and keep moving forward. Winners don't waste energy making excuses. They adapt, endure, and grow stronger through discomfort. Life will hand you unfair moments. You can complain and quit, or you can accept them, rise above, and prove that no amount of sand, cold, or setback can keep you down. Lesson 5. Don't be afraid of the circus. In SEAL training, there was one punishment every cadet dreaded: the circus. The circus wasn't fun, and it definitely wasn't entertainment. It meant 2 extra hours of grueling physical training at the end of an already exhausting day. Push-ups until your arms gave out, running until your lungs burned. Exercise is designed not just to tire your body, but to crush your spirit. For many cadets, the circus was the beginning of the end. The extra training left them so sore and exhausted that they fell behind the next day, earning them yet another circus, and another, until eventually they quit. But here's the twist. For those who endured, for those who refused to quit, something remarkable happened. They grew stronger. Their bodies adapted. Their endurance skyrocketed, and they became faster, tougher, more resilient than the rest. What was meant to break them had, in fact, built them. Now think about your own life. The circus isn't just a Navy SEAL punishment. It's a universal truth. The circus is your rejection letter. It's the job you didn't get. It's the business that failed. It's the heartbreak, the disappointment, the failure that leaves you doubting yourself. At first, it feels cruel, unfair, like punishment. But hidden inside those moments is a gift, the chance to grow in ways comfort will never allow. Success isn't built in easy times. It's forged in the circus, when you push through exhaustion, when you rise after failure, when you keep going even when everything in you wants to quit. Don't run from the circus. Don't fear your failures or setbacks. Embrace them. Because if you endure, you won't just survive. You'll come out stronger, sharper, and ready for the battles ahead. Lesson 6. Little things matter. Admiral McRaven returns again and again to this truth. The little things are never really little. They are the foundation of everything. During SEAL training, cadets learn quickly that neglecting the small details could destroy them in big ways. A loose strap on your gear, a poorly tied knot, a misstep in preparation. These minor mistakes could cost you not just a mission, but your life and the lives of those around you. And it wasn't just in the field. The instructors enforced this lesson constantly. Beds had to be made perfectly, boots polished, uniforms crisp. Timelines followed to the second. For some cadets, this felt trivial. Why worry about a perfectly folded sheet when you're training to fight wars? But those who dismissed the small habits were usually the ones who cracked when the big challenges came. Why? Because discipline, like muscle, is built in repetition. If you can't be trusted with the details, you can't be trusted with the mission. Now think about your own life. Success doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from the quiet consistency of daily habits. Waking up on time, keeping your promises, finishing what you start, listening instead of interrupting, saving instead of overspending. These small choices, repeated over time, compound into something powerful. It's easy to dream about the big victories, the promotion, the championship, the breakthrough moment. But the truth is, those victories are simply the byproduct of the small habits you practice every single day. Pay attention to the little things. Take pride in them. Build consistency where it feels invisible, and soon the big wins will follow naturally. Because greatness is never built in one moment. It's built brick by brick in the details. Lesson 7. Stay focused. Admiral McRaven emphasizes a principle that's as true in SEAL training as it is in everyday life. Success demands focus. During training, cadets were pushed to their absolute limits, running on little sleep, juggling multiple challenges, and battling constant fatigue. In that state, multitasking was a recipe for disaster. One missed detail when securing a rope, one lapse in attention while navigating the water, one careless mistake during a drill. Any of these could mean failure. Worse, in real missions, they could mean lives lost. The cadets who excelled weren't the ones trying to juggle everything at once. They were the ones who gave their full attention to the task in front of them. One mission, one movement, one goal at a time. Laser focus kept them sharp, alive, and moving forward. Now think about our own lives. We live in the age of distraction. Every buzz of your phone, every endless scroll of social media, every half-finished task pulls your mind in 1,000 directions. We convince ourselves we're being productive by multitasking, but the truth is, scattered focus leads to scattered results. Excellence doesn't come from doing more things at once. It comes from doing fewer things with full presence. Writers who focus deeply produce masterpieces. Athletes who lock in on their craft reach greatness. Entrepreneurs who cut out distractions build empires. The formula is simple but not easy. Eliminate the noise, shut down distractions, and give your full attention to the one thing that matters most in this moment. Do it again and again, and the results compound into extraordinary success. Don't chase 10 things at once. Focus deeply on one. Finish it. Win it. then move to the next. Because consistency and focus, not scattered effort, are what create lasting victories. Lesson 8. Live a balanced life. Admiral McRaven reminds us of a truth many high achievers forget. Success without balance is just another form of failure. In SEAL training, cadets were pushed to extremes, physically, mentally, and emotionally. The temptation for many was to overtrain, to push harder, to grind without pause. But the ones who ignored balance, who neglected rest, proper nutrition, or the bonds of teamwork, were often the first to collapse. Their bodies burned out, their minds cracked, and their performance dropped. Meanwhile, those who understood balance lasted longer. They worked with discipline, yes, but they also respected recovery. They leaned on their teams, laughed together when they could, and found small moments of calm amid the chaos. That balance wasn't weakness. It was what gave them the endurance to survive the storm. Our lives are no different. You can pour everything into your career, chase money, and climb ladders, but if you sacrifice your health, your family, your happiness, you'll reach the top and find yourself empty. Burnout doesn't announce itself loudly. It creeps in quietly, stealing your energy, your joy, and your purpose. Balance isn't about slowing down. It's about building strength for the long run. A life of discipline needs rest. Hard work needs play. Success in business means little if you fail in relationships. The true champions, the ones who last, the ones who matter, are those who learn to excel both at work and at life. Don't chase success at the cost of everything else. True success means thriving in your career and in your health, your family, and your peace of mind. Balance isn't distraction. It's your foundation for lasting greatness. Lesson 9. Take risks. Admiral McRaven teaches that real growth begins where comfort ends. In SEAL training, cadets were constantly forced to face their fears. They had to leap from helicopters into dark, freezing waters. They had to dive deep beneath the waves, where panic could easily set in. They had to navigate dangerous terrain and perform tasks that seemed impossible. Every exercise was designed to push them beyond the limits of safety and comfort. The lesson was clear. If you only do what feels safe, you'll never discover how strong you really are. Those who avoided risk didn't grow, they stalled. But those who stepped into fear again and again found new levels of courage they never knew existed. And life works the same way. Your risks might not involve parachutes or underwater drills, but they're no less important. Starting a business, switching careers, moving to a new city, learning a difficult skill, or even just speaking up when it's uncomfortable, all of these require courage. And each time you take a leap, your world expands. Yes, risks carry the chance of failure. But here's the secret. Failure itself is not the enemy. Standing still is. Every risk you take, whether it succeeds or fails, builds resilience, teaches lessons, and prepares you for bigger challenges ahead. Think about it. Every great inventor, every successful leader, every world-class athlete, at some point, they all stood at the edge of fear and decided to jump. Without risk, there is no innovation, no discovery, no greatness. Don't let fear hold you hostage. Take the leap. Step into discomfort. Because growth doesn't live in safety. It lives just beyond your comfort zone. Lesson 10. Never, ever quit. And now, the most powerful lesson of all, never quit. In SEAL training, every cadet faced moments of unbearable pain. The mornings were freezing. The nights were long. Muscles burned. Blisters throbbed. The weight of exhaustion pressed down, making every step feel impossible. Every cadet at some point thought about quitting. Many did. But those who refused, those who kept pushing despite the pain, despite the fear, despite the exhaustion, were the ones who became Navy SEALs. McRaven reminds us, life is no different. Every journey worth taking will test you. You will face rejection. You will encounter failure. You will endure criticism, setbacks, and circumstances that feel impossible to overcome. Every step forward may feel like a battle, and every failure may tempt you to give up. But here's the truth. Quitting guarantees failure. It ends a story before it even begins. On the other hand, persistence, pushing forward when every fiber of your body and mind scream stop, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Think of the greats, the athletes, the innovators, the leaders. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. J.K. Rowling faced countless rejections before Harry Potter was published. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Each of them understood one thing. The road to success is paved with persistence, not ease. Step by step, day by day, even when it hurts, even when it seems pointless, keep moving forward. Every small effort compounds. Every failure teaches. Every moment you refuse to quit strengthens your heart and sharpens your mind. Quitting is permanent. Persistence is growth. When life tests you, when pain and setbacks push you to the edge, dig deeper. Keep moving forward. Because those who never quit are the ones who achieve the extraordinary. So here's the truth Admiral McRaven leaves us with. Changing the world, or even just your own life, doesn't start with grand gestures. It starts with the small, consistent victories you win every single day. Make your bed. Take risks. Stay disciplined. Never quit. Because one small habit at a time, you can build a foundation for an extraordinary life. Sparkles if the summary inspired you. Hit the like button. Share it with someone who needs motivation. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more powerful book summaries. Flex biceps, stay disciplined. Stay strong. And always make your bed.